20 years ago, I was a financial advisor, and through that made some decisions to cross the line legally. And with that came an indictment. You know, my family had really no clue. A lot of dishonesty, distrust, and so you can probably understand how you lose a family over something like that. So when I had to say goodbye to my kids, it was my sentencing day, and I still kind of suppressed the reality of what was going to happen. And when we all went in together on that sentencing day, and the judge basically said, 9 years Department of Corrections, it was two huge emotions. The first was just absolute despair of not knowing where I'm going. And the second was a sense of relief of knowing where I was going. I turned around and to look at their faces was probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Even to this day, that still is something that is kind of hard to, grasp and forgive myself for the pain. On January 21st of 2011 is when I started my 9-year sentence. That very first night there, they actually had a prayer for prisoners service and did an altar call. So that was my day one. I received Christ and knew that this path is going to be new. In my entire time in prison, I had 2 visits, and none were from family. That maybe speaks to the size of the betrayal. My chaplain encouraged me to keep the communication open, even if you didn't know they would receive it. So I wrote my kids once to twice a month, every month I was in, and never once missed. Never even knew if they got them, but God kept me strong into just offering, that glimpse of a new person to them. And the good news about that is about a year after I was out, that's the reason my daughter chose to talk to me, is because I never stopped. So my second year in, I landed at a facility that was supported by Prison Fellowship, and the chaplain brought up Angel Tree one summer. To have that ability to send a gift to my kids, kind of as it was from me, is invaluable. There could actually be a connection now that's more tangible than a card showing up once or twice a month. So my wife and I, through Angel Tree at Cornerstone, have the privilege to offer Christmas to kids that have parents that are in prison. What draws us to this, first off, is my experience of being able to do this for our own kids. We've also had the privilege to develop a summer camp, Arizona Camp 180, allowing these same kids to be sponsored. I had one Angel Tree kid come to me this last summer and say, hey, I'll see my dad when I get in the system. And that just broke my heart. You should see him today. Completely different kiddo. And we're standing in the gap. So that's what Angel Tree is we want to stand in the gap. Yeah, yesterday was just an amazing day. I call it my full circle day. Yesterday I was badged into the Arizona Department of Corrections as a religious volunteer. In my other hand, I actually hold my inmate ID. And to really put these two together, it's one word, man, it's grace. It's grace. There was many days when this ID was on my door, I thought I'd never see something like this. There's so much power that God gives you for what you go through. And I just can't wait to tell it.